Hello everybody, this is Luke and welcome back to Gaming Instincts TV and our How to Slay series for Monster Hunter World. Patrolling the hunting grounds of the ancient forest, the king and queen of the skies, Rathian and Rathalos, reside at the very top of the ancient tree. Between their poisonous barbs and fire-breathing attacks, taking these two down is both challenging and rewarding. So, here are some tips and tricks on bringing these two dragons to the ground. Rathian and Rathalos move and attack in very similar ways, with a few minor differences. On land, each monster has a basic charge, where the monster will rush at its target and can chain this charge up to 3 times. They each have a strong bite, where the monster will lunge its head to the left or right in succession at the hunter, and a tail swipe, where the monster will spin around twice, sweeping in a huge arc which can cause knockback when hit. While in the air, both monsters will attack with their front claws, swiping at the ground where its target is. Also, they both have a flying charge, where they will glide across the map close to the ground, knocking anything down in its path. While the monsters are on the ground, try to stay close to their chest and wings to avoid damage zones. While they are in the air, dodge around the monsters and avoid being directly underneath their legs or tail, attacking their wings when they are low enough to the ground. Use the ledges in the environment to your advantage to mount monsters when possible and take them down to the ground easier. The less time they are in the air, the better. Both of these monsters have ways of poisoning their target and can breathe fire, but they both have different attacks and danger areas to avoid during these attacks. Rathian's tail is its poisonous area. While the monster is on the ground, it can poison its target by hitting with the blunt end of its tail. When in the air, watch for the monster to rise up a bit higher than normal. It will then spin around doing a backflip, whipping its tail around in front of it, causing knockback and poison if it strikes. To avoid the front flip, dodge to the left or right of the monster. This attack only hits an area in a straight line from where the tail is. If the tail is cut off, Rathian can no longer poison its target. During the battle, Rathian will roar and flames will start to form around its mouth, signaling that the monster will now be able to shoot fire. On the ground, Rathian will breathe a large fireball directly in front of it, or shoot out 3 fireballs one after another to the left, right, and center in the direction of the hunter. When you notice the flame around the monster's mouth, try your best to get behind the monster to avoid being singed by any of these attacks. Rathalos also has both poison and fire attacks, but they behave differently. Instead of its tail, Rathalos carries its poison in the large talons on its legs. While in the air, Rathalos will turn away from the hunter momentarily before twisting around while slashing its claws at the ground, which can inflict poison and knockback to its target. Dodge this attack by rolling underneath the monster towards its tail, or backwards from the front of the monster to avoid the damage area. Avoid standing to the sides of Rathalos due to the wide arc of this attack. Rathalos can also shoot fire from its mouth, which is again shown by flames beginning to form around the monster's mouth after it lets out a large roar. While on the ground, Rathalos will shoot a large fireball directly in front of its target. Dodging to the left or right of this attack will be enough to avoid it. When in the air, the monster has 2 fire attacks. First, it will pull its head back to the left or right and then breathe fire out in an arc in front of it. Second, the monster will raise its head up towards the sky before shooting a fireball a short distance directly in front of it at the ground, which will send the monster flying backwards a few yards. For both of these attacks, dodge toward the monster's tail underneath its legs to get behind Rathalos, avoiding the danger areas. Rathian and Rathalos both share the same weaknesses. The head, wings, and tail are all weak points on the monster, and both tails can be severed off. The wings, back, head, and chest can all be broken when inflicted with enough damage. The monsters are also very weak to the dragon elemental damage, and have medium level weakness to thunder, but both are immune to fire altogether. The sleep, paralysis, and stun ailments are all effective against the monsters, but Rathian is a bit more susceptible to stun, so bringing a blunt weapon like the hammer or hunting horn and some flash bombs to the hunt will help bring this monster down to the ground for a few seconds to get in some free damage. Both Rathian and Rathalos provide a significant challenge when hunters first encounter them, and are great practice for learning how to navigate multiple types of damage at once. Farming both of these monsters will provide several powerful weapon trees and armor sets that will be useful well into high rank questing. Hopefully these tips and tricks will help topple these ferocious dragons. And there you have it. Gaming Instincts TV will be leaving you right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date and know when a new video is ready for your viewing pleasure. Also, check out our official website at GamingInstincts.com for latest daily news, featured articles, reviews, and more. Peace out, everybody.